If Andy Kaufman is still pulling the strings with all of this, that's incredible.
I mean, I want to believe that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That would be so ingenious.
That is
incredible.
The level of commitment to the bit is, I mean...
It's the biggest commitment in comedy history ever.
Hello! Welcome to Believe. I'm Phil Green.
And I'm David Ferguson.
And this is a podcast about the world's craziest myths, mysteries, and conspiracies, and sometimes missing dead people.
And sometimes missing dead people. Also, we like to reveal the truth sometimes. That's what I think we do.
Yes. And this one, we're kind of all on the fence, aren't we?
Yeah. I want this to be
This is one
true.
we want to be true.
Yeah, I really do.
It's one of those. It's one of those. This is a podcast about the world's craziest myths, mysteries, and conspiracy theories. In each episode, we bring on a guest. That guest has picked a myth, mystery, or conspiracy they want to talk about. Might be something they believe, might be something they don't believe. And what we've done is got facts and figures from the internet. And we're going to try and prove it, debunk it, or neither, because we never really managed to achieve that.
No, because we're just the bad boys of podcasting.
That's all we are, just the bad boys of podcasting. Where can people follow us on social media?
Oh, all over the place. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky.
Yes.
Our handle is BelievePod.
It is. It's where you can tell us what you think about the conspiracies we've been talking about. Also, DM us. Tell us what you'd like us to cover on this podcast. We want to know. You can also email us, believeconspiracypod@gmail.com. And if they want extra episodes every week...
Well, they just have to follow our Patreon.
Oh my God, how exciting. For £5 a month, you get extra episodes of this podcast every motherfucking week. You also get early access to the main feed and ad-free listening. And there's some very exciting ones out there at the moment.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What was one we just put out? The Max Headroom interruption. That is a very interesting one if you're interested in that. We put out a couple of Pixar episodes recently. We've done things Beast of Bob and More. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and that was one of my earliest conspiracy theory things ever.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about that.
Really went into depth on Monsters, Inc. So if you like that, go to patreon.com/BelievePod. You can see all the episodes we've got available on our Patreon, and you're helping us support the podcast.
Yes, because we want to keep doing this, and if you don't support us, we can't.
Yeah. And we'll love you forever.
We do love you forever.
I'm doing some previews of my latest stand-up show. I'm going to be in Manchester, Watford, Buxton, Shaftesbury, Newcastle, Durham, and Camden over the next couple of months. There is a link in our bio. You're also going to be doing some previews for your Edinburgh show as well.
I am indeed. I'm very, very excited about them, and because the show keeps changing.
We don't know what it's going to be about, but we know it's going to be a show. You'll find a link for all of those shows in our bio or in the show notes of any of our episodes. So please go there and take a look. We'd love to see you. We'd love your support. We'll give you a big hug, maybe a kiss, obviously consent.
Yes.
Yes, very important. And George, pretty excited.
Oh, do you look how beautiful George is today?
His beard's looking great today, isn't it?
Oh my God. I have so much beard envy.
Yeah.
I feel like such an old man compared to his young, vibrant beard. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And who is today's fabulous guest?
Okay. Our fabulous guest today has changed her hair color from black to lighter brown, and I can't tell you how excited I am about that. We have today the fantastic, the wonderful, the delightful Liz Guterbock.
Yes, it is quite the event. Liz is a native Californian and London-based actor and comedian. She's been listed on Guardian's 10 Best Jokes of the Fringe and Dave's Joke of the Fringe. Her 2023 Edinburgh debut show, Liz Guterbock, Geriatric Millennial, received rave reviews. She's been a finalist in the British Comedy Guide Pro Performance Awards, Leicester Mercury Comedian of the Year, as well as a BBC Radio 4 Comedy Award nominee. And she's going to be coming to Edinburgh again this summer with her latest show, Liz Guterbock Nice. And what is the myth, mystery, or conspiracy that Liz has chosen?
Andy Kaufman lives.
Andy Kaufman lives.
He lives. He's alive.
Let's bring on Liz.
Get out of the rabbit hole.
It's a fake. Every single bird in the sky is a robot.
It's fiction.
Doubt your government.
It's an urban legend.
Like, if they're actually spraying something in the sky?
No way.
A stream of absurdity.
It's a total fabrication.
Welcome to the podcast, Liz Guterbock! Hello. New hair, but I don't think it is new hair.
No, it's the same hair. It's
We just haven't seen you for
different color.
fucking
You haven't
ages.
seen me in a long
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Basically, all that darkness is washed away.
All the same style.
all the dark
darkness that
hair,
you
all the
carried.
darkness that I carried before has been washed away.
Wow.
And I'm now a nice person.
It's amazing what a colour tint can do.
It's true,
The
right?
power of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. Your hair looks very
thank you.
shiny, and I love that.
Thank you so much. I was gonna say the same about yours. I was like, yours it's very coiffed. It's very lovely. Phil, you too.
Thanks, but he has been getting
it
a
has
lot of
been-
compliments about the coiffedness.
It's gorgeous. It's like people pay a lot of money to have that kind of that look. Yeah, they do, and you got it for free.
I have. Yeah.
Or I'm making that assumption. Maybe he paid a lot of money.
Oh
for it.
God,
Did
no.
he pay a lot of money for it? Okay.
No.
This is a very strong head podcast today. This is we've really smashed it.
Well, I'm feeling very good about myself.
Yeah,
That's
as
really
you should
nice.
do. And
Thank
some
you.
days we need that because
Yeah. Today's one of those days for sure.
Yeah.
This is so nice. It's just so nice to see you both. I haven't seen you in a long time.
it's nice to see you, Liz.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have people on just for catch up.
Well, that's the best. That's the best.
The
thing.
best reason.
And what a better way to catch up. Like,
Yeah.
I think I love conspiracy theories.
Do you?
I do. I do. I was really excited about it. But I like conspiracy theories. I'm gonna stay outside a certain depth of the conspiracy theory.
Got it.
So I like to
Okay.
hear them.
Yes.
And then I go, okay, that's weird. And then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm too afraid of being trapped and to believe
Do you
in
think
them.
you could get sucked in?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you kidding? I'm so gullible.
Are there
I'm
any
so
that you've ever
gullible.
fallen for?
No. Well, okay, no, but I have. This is sort of adjacent. Okay, Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker are married.
Yes.
Or yes, fine. So, but then she did a show called Divorced, and then I think it's called Divorce or Divorced.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, she got a divorce. Okay, right? So then my partner and I go and watch this play, Plaza Suite, which is in the West End, and Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker are in the play together. And I'm sitting there next to my partner going, God, it's really amazing how professional they are, that they can be divorced and they still are doing a play together. Like, I'm a dum-dum.
So you've just made up your own
I
conspiracy.
just made up my own conspiracy
And you've gone
theory.
to play with her and believed your own.
Believed my own hype.
Wow.
And then afterward, my partner looked at me, he's like, Liz, they're not divorced. I was like,
Not in
I
my
think they
world.
are. I think they are. So yeah, I shouldn't be allowed to hear conspiracy.
I think it's nice that you can make your own entertainment, Liz. I think it's really good. It's
Look,
very
Liz-
self-sufficient.
Liz-
It's a fun place.
Yeah, COVID must have been fantastic for
Oh
you.
my God, are you kidding? I was up there in my little attic apartment.
Cooking up stuff to believe in.
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all believe that Sarah Jessica Parker is really Carrie. We do.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely, she is.
They've got a place in Ireland because Matthew Broderick is
for murder?
Irish family.
Excuse me?
Do you not know about what happened with
Wanted
Matthew
for
Broderick?
Oh yeah.
You're no.
It's not a conspiracy.
Like,
This
this
is an actual
happened.
thing.
Sadly
Stop
happened.
it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Matthew Broderick killed 2 people in a car crash.
No, I didn't know that. That's
a
awful.
mother and a daughter
That's awful.
in Ireland.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch Matthew Broderick.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry I brought him up. This is terrible.
Not as
Okay,
you
I've
think
heard
that's
the
bad.
show.
Have you seen Godzilla?
No, I haven't. I've
Well-
never seen any version of Godzilla either.
Okay.
There are a couple of good Godzilla movies that genuinely
But
like
not
really, really
the
good.
one with Maddie B.
No.
No.
That is the worst thing he's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's got such a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
The worst thing he's done?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
You need to see it.
Okay.
And I know this sounds bad,
Yeah.
but honestly, see
Okay.
the film.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I will. I love a bad film. I love a bad film.
It is a terrible. It's basically a dinosaur in New York.
Well, that is Godzilla, yeah.
Well, it has a banging soundtrack though.
What's the soundtrack?
So
Dinosaur
Jamiroquai.
noise?
Wow, you're
it's-
young enough not to know this, okay? Right, like the Come to Me with Puff Daddy,
Yeah.
or P Diddy, or whatever you call
I mean,
him.
he's bad news. Anyway.
Yeah.
Deeper Underground.
Deeper Underground, Jamiroquai.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Such a
okay.
track.
I'm
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
For a Godzilla movie?
On
Yeah.
it, the
Wow.
soundtrack goes so hard.
Wow.
It really does.
I will be
That's
watching.
only. I mean, the soundtrack is banging. Again, doesn't go with the film at all. A bit like, well, I think we was on the Patreon. We were talking about the fact that the Batman, as in the 1989 Batman soundtrack, does not go with the film. But both are brilliant.
Do not be throwing any shade at Prince's Batdance. Okay? Do not. I will leave the podcast.
That's
right
exactly
now.
what you said.
I
That's exactly what you said.
It does something to my brain.
It is
I
that
love
movie
it.
is a masterpiece.
It
and
is
I
a
will not hear a
masterpiece.
word said against it.
I
Liz
love it.
Guterbock, everybody.
Thank you.
I
Thank you so
love-
much. Give me Batdance. Oh, I was doing karaoke once, and Batdance was listed on
What?
the karaoke sheet.
Yeah.
And we
That's insane.
yeah, I know. We ordered it, and then they're like, "Sorry, we don't have it." We're like, "Why would you advertise Batdance?
Yeah.
and then not deliver?"
Yeah.
We were so angry. Yeah.
That, I mean, that
busting.
would be the most niche choice at any karaoke that you
Which
could
is
possibly
why we
choose.
chose
Yeah,
it.
quite right.
yeah.
I probably could sing Batdance and karaoke. I really could, because I'm going over my head, you know.
Oh, I love
Keep
it.
busting.
I mean,
Wasn't it to do with the fact that Sony, it was a Sony film production, and he was a Sony signed artist or something along those sort of lines?
might be. There were a
Yeah.
lot of those artist collaborations
There was that.
back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was
like
the thing, wasn't it?
There was they said they had to tie it. They had to have pop promotion, and Prince did it for the cheapest amount.
Oh.
He did it all in Paisley Park, which was his record label, even though it's all tied in with something like that. But
I mean, I love Party Man. Such
Yes.
a good song.
I was talking about this
Yeah.
the other day.
Good song.
When the Nicholson's Joker is going around the art gallery, just defacing the paintings,
Oh, yeah.
that bit is just wonderful.
And as a kid, I was like, imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, as an adult, I'm like, no, not really. But I think, yeah, as a kid, I was just like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
He is dancing next to the Degas and then knocking it over with his cane. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I couldn't.
What's the one he doesn't deface?
The Francis Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like this one, Bob.
Yeah.
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 Beautiful. Well, that's Batman covered.
Well, yeah.
That's the second time this week we've talked about
That
you.
is actually
it,
true.
yeah.
That is actually true. So, Andy Kaufman faked his own death. The enduring theory that Andy Kaufman faked his death in 1984 remains one of the most captivating enigmas in entertainment history. Known for his avant-garde performances and elaborate pranks, Kaufman's legacy is so intertwined with deception and performance art that the line between reality and illusion often blurs. As a result of this, there is a belief that Kaufman is still alive. So, Liz, fan of Andy Kaufman?
Yeah, not a big fan, but like, yes, appreciator. Andy
Appreciator.
Kaufman, appreciator.
Okay.
I think I watched the Jim Carrey film of
Yep.
it. I've watched clips of Andy Kaufman as well, but I watched the Jim Carrey film of it and Jim Carrey's behavior on set when he was playing Andy
Oh,
Kaufman.
you watched the documentary as well.
I watched both.
Yes.
And good Lord. And also Jim Carrey in a Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just like, speaking of kind of like illusion, delusion, the like what's real and what's not real
Yeah.
with Andy Kaufman. Yeah, that's a long-winded answer of saying Andy Kaufman, appreciator, fan? Not so sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. David?
I love him.
Yeah.
Here I come to save the day
Yeah.
is one of my favorite moments ever in anything ever, when he just sings along to that, and I get that. I'm that little boy.
It's so simple, isn't
Oh,
it?
I love it.
beautiful. It's beautiful, and it is the kids record player with the kids record. You're like it's all childish stuff, and it's him being a child as an adult, and it's just beautiful.
I think
Mouse.
the thing with him is that we were very young when he was massive, right? So we don't remember.
Yes,
That's
him.
right.
That's it. So it's not really our generation.
No,
That's what I mean. I have
came to him later.
ideas of him,
Yes.
but I'm not,
It-
okay with everything.
That's
he
the
did.
thing. I think if I could imagine being a teenager watching his stuff and really, really getting seriously into him and loving it.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it would have been that big over here because I don't think we had that.
We didn't
level
have
of-
Saturday Night Live.
It's kind of like network television,
Yeah.
kind of big names like Johnny Carson and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then I guess the equivalent for me would be like Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live.
That would have been your era.
I think so, yeah, as a teenager. But yeah, I think you're right that he's sort of comedy legend.
yeah.
I think my parents were like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't really get it. I think a lot of people felt that way, but a lot of people didn't. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
People felt the same way about Steve Martin.
That's true.
So
Steve Martin's
I know,
so
what a
great.
babe. Yeah.
Because early 80s Saturday Night Live was massive, wasn't it? That was sort of peak SNL.
Yeah, I think so. I should know my eras, but I'm like Belushi and those
Yeah,
guys.
they're
around the
not
same
ready
time.
for primetime players. Like
Yeah.
they even guest starred in a Marvel comic book. They teamed up with Spider-Man. Like they were ferociously important
Yeah.
in pop culture. And their very first sketch they ever did, they talk about Wolverines, and then Wolverine is one of the most important comic book characters ever. But it's probably where they got the name.
And Andy Kaufman was in Taxi as well, right?
Yeah.
With Danny DeVito.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Christopher Lloyd.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Love all of those people.
It's an amazing cast. What I love about the film Man on the Moon is that they all come back for that. I think that's such a beautiful
It's
thing
really
about
gorgeous.
the film.
Yeah.
It's the "We love you, Andy"
Yeah.
thing. Like that almost makes the movie. Nothing else matters. Like it's that, but.
I found it quite emotional just seeing all of those people because I rewatched it for this and I had seen it for a long time ago and I loved it and I got really into Andy Kaufman off the back of it and I was in America when I saw it and I went and bought a load of Andy Kaufman books and videos because it was like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So really got into him. But then watching it back now, you realize all the people that were part of his life that played bit parts in it. Like his manager is in there. He plays the bar owner. Like his first ever agent is in it.
Oh, wow.
Bob Zuma, his best mate, is in it as a producer rather
my
than
God,
There's so many people.
They just loved him, and loved his genius. And Danny DeVito plays his manager. Obviously, Danny DeVito from Taxi.
Yes.
And there's that wonderful moment in the movie where they're having dinner together. Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman and Danny DeVito. And Danny DeVito goes, "I think you just might be a genius," and it's Danny DeVito also saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Wild. Absolutely wild.
I think just seeing that love is more of a testimony than his art.
Yeah.
His comedy art. I'm sorry.
Yes, comedy is art.
Comedy is art.
We all know it.
Yeah.
It's only the entertainment industry that doesn't realize.
And the BBC and the British government.
Making art.
Yes.
And if you can't see that, that's your problem.
We might be the lowest rung, but we're on the fucking ladder. Give us some funding.
You're climbing the ladder slowly.
Yeah, the reason that they don't give us any funding is because it's a working class art form.
Yeah.
They don't
So hear this, Arts Council.
Please give us money.
Yeah. Do you know Jim Carrey's daughter is in it as well? She plays the sister in a flashback sequence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I didn't find that out till today, but I thought
my
that's
gosh.
a nice little nugget.
Well, there's that whole thing where I think it's Norm Macdonald is on. Yeah.
He's in it, yeah.
Well, Norm Macdonald is in it, but Jim Carrey was so off his rocker method acting during it that they were doing, you probably know this story already, so please fill in anything that I get wrong.
Go for it.
But I would say he was doing one, like, I can't remember which show, it was Jimmy Fallon or something like that. And Jim Carrey was there with Norm Macdonald, and Jim goes to Norm, "Hey man, when we were doing, when I was doing Man on the Moon, you came and visited me on set." And Norm Macdonald's like, "Visited you?" And Jim's like, "Yeah, you came and visited me on set." He's like, "Dude, I was in the movie. I was in the movie." I think, and perfect person to call him out on that.
Yeah,
Norm
absolutely.
Macdonald's, like, the perfect
Absolutely.
person to
Yeah.
do
Of
that.
Norm Macdonald.
He
Please
didn't
let him
give a
have
fuck.
faked his death as
I
well.
know.
Yeah, I think I'd actually rather bring back Norm Macdonald. I don't mean that it's any disrespect to Andy Kaufman, but Norm Macdonald is somebody we've had him. Like, we've had him in our lives, It's so sad. Anyway, the genesis of the theory, Andy Kaufman was not a conventional comedian. He was a performance artist who challenged audiences' perceptions of reality. His acts often involved elaborate hoaxes, such as portraying the abrasive lounge singer Tony Clifton or engaging in staged wrestling matches with women, blurring the lines between performance and authenticity. His penchant for deception laid the groundwork for posthumous speculation about his death. His close friend and collaborator Bob Zuma has been a central figure in perpetuating the theory that Kaufman faked his death. In a book that he co-authored with Andy Kaufman's ex, The Truth, Finally, Zuma asserts that Kaufman had long contemplated faking his death as the ultimate prank, suggesting that his 1984 demise from lung cancer was a carefully orchestrated hoax.
Wow.
So a lot of people have played into this over the years.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's been, so Bob Zuma is the best mate in the film.
Yes.
And he's written a number of books actually about Andy Kaufman, but he's collaborated with, I think, Andy Kaufman's family and his ex. And so there's a lot of people. And it's hard to know whether it's done for monetary purposes or just to kind of continue the legacy.
Continue the joke almost.
Yeah.
It's like, that's fascinating. I purposely did no research.
That is
on
fine.
this
Don't worry.
Because I was like, I want to see what I'm going to think when I hear all this
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
Because
right.
I'm just like, I feel like this, when I was like, that is so wild. This is like Elvis, but also that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, because Andy probably loved Elvis, right? I mean,
He did. Yeah, he really loved
He
Elvis.
did an Elvis impersonation.
Well, that's so it's like, yeah, it makes sense. But
He also refused to do a Saturday Night Live sketch that ridiculed Elvis.
really,
Yeah, and people thought that was him, you know, pranking, but he actually genuinely wouldn't do it because he didn't want to disrespect Elvis Presley.
wow,
Yeah,
wow,
he loved him that much.
Wow, I mean, yeah.
That's why I don't make any Michael Jackson jokes, because I love Janet so much.
Okay, I'm glad that's what you said. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Except in the Patreon episode where we went into that.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's fine. It's for the
I
patrons. Patreon, you'll find out.
But-
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me that they would maybe be in on the joke. I mean, monetary.
Well, I guess
No.
still producing books essentially and
yeah.
interviews and
Revenue.
staying in the limelight. I guess you know, he's got to work. He's got to get money. I don't know whether or not that's the reason. I hope it isn't.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, well, even if it is, it's fine.
Keeping his memory alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's a tribute to him that they continue to do that. Right? It's a nice
It
thing.
is. I mean, and Tony
Yeah.
Clifton still exists.
Tony Clifton still doing concerts. Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tony Clifton character.
Really?
So you know at the end of Man in the Moon,
Yeah.
where Tony Clifton's on stage,
Yes.
and they pan backwards and Bob Zimmer's at the back,
Yeah.
and you're wondering who's on stage.
Yeah.
That's obviously done intentionally, but
my God.
there have been multiple appearances of Tony Clifton since Andy Kaufman died.
Right.
And sometimes it's always obviously Bob Zimmer, but maybe not
But not
always.
always.
sometimes not always.
Maybe not always.
always.
Knows. Wow.
What do you think of his pranks?
They made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm not a prank guy because,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm kind of a dum-dum. And so, like, I'm not...
You believe it.
I would
You'd
believe
wear a
it.
ball into it.
Yeah. But that's also, like, I'm really impressed. I'm also, in some ways, like, impressed and just like, oh, my gosh, people can do that. People can go that far. And
Yeah.
they're fine with it.
Yeah.
I think,
You got to have no fear, haven't you?
Oh, I mean, he was absolutely fearless. There's
Totally.
and doing stuff like that on TV, and especially at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was groundbreaking,
Crazy.
and it was weird. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he had people around that were going, "Oh, Andy, don't be doing this." You know, we want the sweet stuff, the funny stuff.
Yeah.
Because Tony Clifton ended up being on Taxi, and it was Andy Kaufman as Tony Clifton, but he was a complete asshole.
He was.
to everybody. Like, he
Yeah.
really alienated everybody.
Yeah.
And they were like, "This character doesn't really fit," and yet, because Andy Kaufman was such a draw, it's like, yeah, we'll give the contract, we'll do what you want. So even though we're saying how much he's loved, he really pissed people off.
Oh, loads of
Pissed
people off.
Yeah, and I think that maybe that's the line that gets crossed where I just kind of go, you're actually making it really hard for other people to do their jobs that they're hired to do, and you are unpleasant to be around, which is why, I mean, I know part of like Jim Carrey going method and doing the same thing on
Yeah.
set. I'm like, yeah, you're channeling Andy Kaufman, but you're being an asshole.
You're just being a dick.
Just being a dick.
Yeah.
See, I watched that documentary, and I don't know whether I think it's the greatest. I don't know where I stand.
The
with it, 'cause
problem
it's
is,
so
like, it's such a good performance.
Yes.
It's such a good
You
film.
can't. Yes. Yeah.
You think if he didn't do it, would it be as good? And it's hard to know, but you just, when you watch documentaries, you just think, I would hate to be on that set.
Yeah, and then you go, he's also encouraging other people to
Yeah.
engage in behavior like that. So then you get Jared Leto being like, I'm gonna send you a dead rat and some condoms.
Yeah.
and you're
but
just
Jared
like,
Leto can't act and is a terrible, terrible presence in every movie he's ever in.
So-
Even though he has an Oscar, he's awful.
Well, it's good that you don't have a strong opinion on
Oh
that.
my, Jared!
Good.
I'm going to wear lots of makeup and do something. Oh, Jared Leto.
Do another accent, Jared, please.
Oh my god,
We so want to hear it.
What's the is it the Gucci movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
It's amazing.
Oh, I mean, talk about a movie that's fun to
Incredible.
laugh through. Oh, yeah.
But I imagine all the way through that movie, he was thinking, I'm going to get an Oscar for this.
Oh yeah, that's why he
Definitely
put the
he did.
prosthetics on.
Yeah.
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 He's just.
But I honestly watched that thinking, is this a parody? Like, are you parodying an actor doing this? That it feels
know,
like,
it
because it's
does.
so bad.
He thinks so deeply that he's this great auteur, you know, and the fact is the greatest role he ever had was Jordan Catalano in My So-Called Life.
Yeah.
He peaked there.
Agreed.
He peaked there. And that's because he didn't have to do anything. Claire Danes did it all.
Yeah,
Like, he's
she's
an awful
stunning.
actor.
But I
Very
think
pretty, though.
But it's really interesting how people will look to that sort of method thing and go, oh, that's the way I need to get in role. But it's so ego driven. And that, like I was saying, that relating it back to Andy Kaufman, that crossing the line, I'm like, it's one thing to do pranks and it's another thing to like genuinely make people's lives really difficult.
Yeah.
But that's personal, like that, you know.
Well, I make Phil's life really difficult.
Yes,
on
but
purpose,
not
though?
intentionally.
I don't think on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Ooh, big reveal.
he has to sort so much stuff out, and I'm like, is it, cultivated helplessness.
Sometimes the medication doesn't always help. That's basically what we're trying to say. So Kaufman's fascination with hoaxes. Kaufman had an established pattern of engaging in long-term pranks, sometimes lasting months or even years. He blurred the line between himself and alter egos like Tony Clifton, an act so convincing that even friends and fans were often unsure who was behind the mask. Kaufman's deep commitment to these performances led to the view that his supposed death as potentially his final and greatest act. In interviews, Kaufman had expressed admiration for elaborate stunts and had discussed the idea of faking his own death with close friends. Bob Zuma repeatedly claimed Kaufman considered his act to be the ultimate form for performance art, requiring him to disappear for 20 to 30 years before revealing the truth. Wow. If that was the case, he would be back by now.
Yes,
though.
that would be my thing.
Yeah.
And
Did COVID not throw it off?
No, because 30 years would have been 2014.
Yeah,
And
that was last year.
Of course it was. Yeah. And that was the year that Bob Zuma and Andy Kaufman's ex published the book, The Truth, finally.
But then I also was like, if he has, when I saw this conspiracy theory, I went, I think he's waited too long.
Yeah, I think so
he's
too.
waited too long.
I think he's waited too
like,
long.
Come on, bro, you gotta do it.
20 years would have been about right.
Yeah. What do you think, David? I feel like you don't agree with that.
Oh no, there comes a point where it's like you've missed the window. It's like Madonna's waited 6 years to release a new album. That's the longest.
Sorry, I thought you were about to say Madonna's waited 6 years to reveal that she's dead.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like
Nobody would care. Everybody would be like, I will still buy the album.
Yeah. I mean, she does look. Yeah. But we still love you, Madonna. But 6 years is the longest she's ever waited to release an album.
Yeah. You know what? Art takes time.
Art
as
takes
we know,
time. And
as
the last two
artists
albums were
ourselves.
Can't
Arts
rush
cancel.
these things.
Yeah.
Arts cancel.
That's what we're saying.
But isn't she like 60? What's she, 65?
65. She's about that. She's about that. And she's
I
been.
think it's fine to slow down
I
at
agree.
65 with the legacy that you've got.
I'd be happy if she didn't release another album because she's so much stuff that hasn't been released that is awesome.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Like she's really loads of back catalog stuff, B-sides and stuff that was never released, projects that never got finished because she did a couple of songs and it didn't work. And just release it all. Stop trying to be an artist. Just give me everything. I want everything.
I think the re-release of the dance mix of "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" that you sent me has to be re-released. Have you ever heard it?
I've never heard it, and I want to hear it immediately.
Well, David sent it to you. It is.
I tell you what, though, like I listened to Confessions the other day, and it just slaps.
Perfect.
It's such
perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
It's so great, and that tour, the whole thing, I love her. I love her.
Yeah.
And I know. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just great. She's just great. I love her.
Phil?
I do like her. My sister went to see her last year and said it was the greatest show she'd ever seen. Yeah. So
she still got it.
Yeah. She's still.
She'll always have it.
Yeah.
She'll always have it. She is Madonna.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Zuma also stated that Kaufman had set the return deadline for 30 years after his supposed death, placing the speculative comeback around 2014, the year they released the book. However, no definitive reappearance followed. So alleged posthumous communication. One of the most discussed pieces of evidence is the claim made by Kaufman's brother, Michael Kaufman, in 2013 at a public event at the Andy Kaufman Awards. Michael read a letter he claimed to have received in 1999 from Andy, indicating he'd faked his death and was living under a new identity, raising a family away from the public eye. Michael introduced a woman who claimed to be Andy's daughter, saying Kaufman had wished to remain hidden for the sake of his new life. The story unraveled shortly afterwards when the woman admitted it was a hoax staged by Michael Kaufman himself, allegedly to keep the what if narrative alive. It's a lot of effort to go to.
I mean, enlisting someone saying that that's his daughter, and that's like,
yeah,
and she's.
It's not his daughter.
Yeah,
it's mental.
But she would say that to cover it up, like a double bluff.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that is exactly what the Kaufman Truthians think, because they're like, it's a double bluff.
My God, this is some like Borat level
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, saying that Kaufman probably was a huge influence on.
I imagine it
Sacha
must have
Baron
been.
Cohen. I mean, the greatest. Yeah. You just, but that, I mean, imagine, she must be being paid to be
Oh, yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
And all of how, why? Yeah.
Just to continue the legacy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite I've watched the video of the actual event today, and there's news reports, which Michael Kaufman, the brother, does loads of news interviews.
It seems really sincere.
It's really sincere, like really. And so the news interview is going, so this is because the news interview is like, some website had found out that this girl that they brought on was an actress. And he said, so it's definitely not an actress you're paying. He was like, nope, it's definitely not. So he never broke.
Jeez, this is wild.
It's mental.
I mean, and what is her name? Do you have her name?
No, I don't have her name, but
No, that's okay.
But she was an actress, and
Right.
it was all faked, so that did all come
Well,
out.
if Andy
but-
Kaufman was your dad, of course you're going to be an
Yeah.
actress.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So that I don't think that.
But the truthers are like, this
Well,
is real.
They're saying it's real.
is real.
Yeah, they're saying it's double
Wow.
bluff.
Double bluff.
So despite this admission, some diehard believers interpreted the event as not a debunking, but yet another layer of Kaufman's legendary misdirection. If Andy Kaufman is still pulling the strings with all of this, that's incredible.
I mean, I want to believe that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That would be so ingenious.
That is
incredible.
The level of commitment to the bit is, I mean,
It's the biggest commitment
Yeah.
in comedy history ever.
like this decrepit old man on a bed. Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Andy Kaufman.
yeah.
Here's the papers. Here's the DNA evidence. I did it.
But I think you're right what you're saying about him missing the moment, because the moment probably would have been early 2000s after the film came out, when he was still in public consciousness.
I think
People knew
so.
who he was.
Yeah.
Now, like, we only really know about him because of the film and so
The REM song.
Yeah, and the REM song.
Unless we think that Jim Carrey is actually.
Oh, Liz. This is when you
Wheels
make up your
within
own
wheels
stuff.
within wheels.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Perfect.
Maybe he was in role. Maybe he was.
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman.
Either way, he managed to piss a lot. They both managed to piss a lot,
of people off. Yeah.
Continuing appearances of Tony Clifton. So Tony Clifton, the vulgar lounge singer, often portrayed by Kaufman and by Bob Zuma, continued making public appearances after Kaufman's death. Although Zuma has publicly admitted to taking over the role, conspiracy theories suggest Kaufman himself could have resumed the character at select events. Which, in fairness,
I love that
Yeah.
idea as well. I mean, he could have taken over. How fun would that be? Oh, God, that would be so much fun.
well, given that they were doing that a lot when Kaufman was alive,
Yes, yeah.
then
It would make sense.
It
to
totally
continue
makes
it on.
sense.
Absolutely.
Also, it's such a heavy costume and prosthetics that it'd be
Yes.
quite easy for somebody to do that.
Definitely. I mean, he'd have to fly back from Mexico in order to do the appearances. Where were these appearances taking place? I'm assuming places like Vegas. And
The Comedy Store happened a few times.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
okay, that's
there's-
worth it. That's worth the trip back from Mexico.
Yeah.
Performing at the
There's-
Comedy Store somewhere.
yeah.
There's an episode of Paul Provenza's Green Room, which is like a talking circle of comedians with Paul Provenza. And Paul Provenza, he's a really great comedian, but he kind of never made that, the big time. He was the
So he's happy.
He's happy. He's happy. But he knows everybody. Like he knows everybody, and he's very well respected. And there's an episode of Paul Provenza's Green Room where Tony Clifton shows up and he gets kicked out because he's so belligerent. And you
Wow.
can see, and Paul Provenza's Green Room is pretty much one take, whereas you can see that they've edited him out. Like you can see that they've gotten rid of him, and it's like, what went on? Like
Yeah.
I want to see that full bit.
I know. We want to.
Yeah.
We need the video. Get us the video, David.
Yeah.
We need the video.
I know.
So there's been a few Clifton performances in the 90s and the early 2000s, and they've been described by the fans as having the authentic Kaufman energy, which fuels the speculation.
Okay. I mean, if it's
I guess if you're a really avid fan, you can probably tell the difference between when it's Kaufman in the character and Zuma in the character, or someone else in the character.
I'd say so. I mean, it went on for a period of years when he was alive, or like where people really couldn't tell.
Yeah.
So
And this is an age before digital, before the
it.
internet, before smartphones.
Yeah.
So it's all slightly grainy footage, sort of old footage. It's a lot easier for people to, can't analyze it in the way they'd be able to now.
Yeah. So they would be able to, zoom in, get close,
Yeah.
see the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some viewers reported that the person behind the makeup exhibited vocal and mannerism discrepancies compared to Zoomer's version of Clifton, though none of this has been proven. If that Zoomer channeling Kaufman doing Tony Clifton, as in doing an impression of somebody doing a character, that's an incredible skill.
I mean, that's an unbelievable skill,
Yeah.
and he should be
Knighted.
given an award. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because Clifton is mesmerizing. Even this Paul Provenza clip that I'm talking about, like, he's pissing everybody off.
He's an incredible comedy character.
Right?
He's an incredible character.
And it's like, if Zoomer is doing that, then Zoomer's a great comedian. And I don't, no unkindness, but I don't think he is. So it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. So you think it could actually be Andy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He must be such a fun character to play.
Oh my God. I mean, we're all going to do Tony Clifton in our shows, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 Obviously.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
Quite right.
Like,
Artiste.
easy, original ideas.
Yeah.
I'm currently working with a sunglasses character to try and.
Although I would say, we've seen the size of Edinburgh Rooms, the layout. It doesn't take much to destroy it. That'll be done within the first 2 minutes.
No, albeit Southsider, step on stage, make one wrong step, and collapse
That's
the whole
it.
thing. It's like
Show over.
show over. Audience, I'll take care of you in there. I'm not going to move at all.
Yeah.
I promise.
Alleged sightings over the years. As with other celebrity death conspiracies, several alleged sightings of Kaufman have surfaced over the decades. In 1995 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a man reportedly resembling Kaufman, using the alias Zachary Allen, was said to perform bizarre street theatre mimicking Kaufman's style. Witnesses described Kaufman-esque behaviour, awkward dancing, playing children's songs, and shouting lines from Taxi. I mean, that's
Just
quite
sounds
overt.
He sounds like someone on the tube in London. It's like,
I mean,
but I would say, like, New Mexico, all the UFO sightings, like, come on. I'm going, is Albuquerque?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Famously where Bugs Bunny's always going.
Yeah, yeah. I knew I should have made that left turn at Albuquerque. Yeah, you got it. It's like there's something about him showing up in New Mexico that's so joyful.
Yeah, there is.
I really want to believe it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yes. And, just in some random cafe just being like, hey, that's not what he sounds like. But yeah.
But I love the fact that, like, I mean, he literally couldn't be doing more to reveal himself as being Andy Kaufman than actually shouting lines from Taxi.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, is everybody just dumb? Has he already arrived and we missed it?
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
maybe
that could've
he's
been
actually
it.
done the comeback and everyone's forgotten. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, but no, I really am
No,
here.
I really
This
am
is me.
here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
And that was it. And
Yeah.
now we're just like, nah, he's dead.
Yeah.
It's like there's a Christian movement that says that Jesus has come back, and we just didn't notice.
Oh.
Every eye shall see him, every tongue will pierce him, and the Book of Revelation about everybody seeing Jesus. But in our multimedia age, like, everybody could see Jesus and go, it's not a good meme. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Comebacks rarely work. Katy Perry.
Was she ever here? Oh,
I'm starting to
that's
think that
scathing. I'm so sorry.
we
Listener.
talk about Katy Perry on this podcast
Yeah,
more
way
than
too
you
much.
would
Did Katy
way
believe.
too
Perry
much.
go away though? I don't.
Yeah,
Well, she went
flop
away.
era.
Oh.
She had to go to space to try and be relevant again, and that
Oh,
backfired.
that really backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Gail.
Who else has tried to make a comeback? I don't know. I mean,
Madonna's made multiple comebacks.
yeah.
Yeah, but they've worked.
Successful
worked, that's
ones,
true.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Except for, wait, was it her who performed at Eurovision?
Yes. Oh, we don't talk about
I'm
that.
sorry. Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
you
really
can't
sorry,
get the
David.
footage of
Is
that.
that why she fell
really
down the stairs?
upsetting.
No, that was the Brit Awards.
Oh, yeah.
And I cried.
There are a lot of things that I can forgive, but kind of ruining Eurovision is difficult.
It was just
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
And just terrible.
Andy Kaufman should show up at Eurovision.
That would be incredible.
That would be amazing.
That would be
Oh, I
incredible.
want to see that.
As
Yeah.
Tony Clifton.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That would be
my God.
unbelievably
That would be
great.
so great. He should host.
Teaming
Yeah.
up with Neil Hamburger.
I think people would love that. I don't think there'd be a lot of people who just wouldn't get that, and that would be the beauty
That
of
would be
it.
the best.
Yeah.
That would be the best thing.
Also, Eurovision itself is mental.
Yeah.
Like, everything about it is mental.
Best show on TV.
It is the best show on TV. It's superb. 2003 in New York City, a patron at a Greenwich Village cafe claimed to have overheard a man resembling Kaufman talking about fooling the world and referencing Lynn Margulies, who's Kaufman's girlfriend, by name. No confirmation was ever made.
That was 2003?
2003.
Okay. And Lynn Margulies, is she still with us?
Yes, she is. I think so. She is the character that Courtney Love plays in the film.
I see.
Wife.
Yes.
Okay.
No, not wife. He never married.
He never married her.
But is she, I want to know, like, is she disappeared as well?
Oh,
Like,
no. She co-wrote the book that was released in 2014 with Bob Zuma.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, I love a sighting. But 2003, like, why isn't he back yet? If that was,
Yeah.
And that story was never corroborated. It's just sort of a random person. So basically the team was like, we need to put out a story to New York.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
They just got to keep this running every few years, just to whack one out.
Sounds fun though.
Similarly with
Dude,
Elvis.
it sounds really fun.
If you're in the engine room of this massive prank, all you're doing all day is going, right, where can we put him today?
This is fun.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this is harming anyone
No.
necessarily, unless we're Cliftoning it up and he's like actively ruining, I don't know, somebody's podcast. Like that maybe.
I mean, we'd happily have Clifton on to
Okay,
Tony,
great.
If you want to come on to it,
Clifton,
that's fine.
come on the cast.
You and Blobby are welcome anytime. We're fine with that. George won't be happy, but we will be over the moon.
Oh, come on, George. Be a sport. Be a sport.
Bought very expensive equipment. 2008, a blog post by an anonymous user claimed that Kaufman was living quietly in Hawaii, teaching mime and meditation to a small group. The post contained no verifiable accounts, but was widely circulated among conspiracy forums.
I want to learn mime from Andy Kaufman. That sounds so
Wouldn't
fun.
it be incredible?
Wait, he was teaching mime and
Mime
what?
and meditation.
And meditation.
Yeah.
The two do go together.
They do.
Like the dissolving of self.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm.
And he was, and Kaufman was genuinely into transcendental meditation.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Like genuinely.
In a real genuine way. Yeah.
My aunt and uncle are TM meditators.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Big
I
into TM.
I've always been interested in it and then never did it, even though I like applied for it and stuff. Because there's a transcendental meditation school in London that you can go to for free.
Yeah, it's good that it's free. There's a lot of parts you do have to pay for the training and stuff. I mean, that's a whole other podcast that we could go on. But yeah, TM's very interesting. David Lynch.
Yeah.
Great David Lynch. You know,
Yeah.
and
Trying to think of other people, but they're all going out of my head right now that I've
In the film, he gets kicked out of the transcendental medication people because
that makes sense.
because of not for what he did when he was there, but it was more the stuff he was doing, the wrestling stuff and the destruction, and so they kicked him out. And I don't know whether that happened in real life, but I feel like it probably did, because I don't see why they would include it in the film if it didn't. But he was genuinely
drama,
devastated.
but
I mean, they do dramatize stuff, I guess.
True.
But TMers have kind of seen it all. It's like when the Beatles were in India, that's who they went to see. They went to see the Maharishi. And George Harrison was probably the one who carried on with it more than anyone else. But John Lennon, the lore goes that John Lennon was like, I'm out, I'm done with this. And the Maharishi was like, why are you leaving? And he said, well, if you're so all-knowing, you would know why. And he just left. But yeah, I feel like you can't mess with people's meditation.
No. No.
It's not gonna. You can't do like characters when you're meditating.
Yeah, it would be a hard sell.
But it's so funny with Andy Kaufman because it seems like he finds something that he loves and then he ruins it. Like if he
who of us haven't done that?
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I've definitely
But comedians are destructive people.
Indeed.
It's fair to say.
Indeed.
I mean, this is physically destructive, but they do have that tendency. I think with the transcendental meditation stuff, I can't say it. I don't think he ruined that as such. He kicked out for other things he was doing, but I think he was more devastated about that. Whereas
so it was like by association of the things that he was doing, not stuff he was doing like in meditation groups.
Exactly.
Okay.
But with the wrestling stuff, so he was quite controversial in the wrestling world because he did love wrestling. Like he genuinely, deeply loved wrestling and had since he was a kid. So it came from a place of love, the whole wrestling thing. And Jerry Lawler, who is the one guy that he fought that allegedly broke his neck, didn't really, but that was the thing. He was in on that prank for 10 years and stuck to that story for 10 years while he was alive, which I think is incredible. Yeah. But he always said Kaufman loved wrestling and wrestling loved Kaufman because it brought so much attention to wrestling.
Yeah, I love wrestling so much as well. Like he's got all the big ones, like mime. Yeah. Wrestling. Yeah. Pretending to be other people in prosthetics. Yeah. Like, he's living the dream.
This is your Edinburgh show.
I want to screw what else I'm doing. I got to do this. This is
what
great.
A year it's going to be, Liz.
What a year. This is my
People
year.
are going to come out your show. Liz has changed her style.
Look, she changed her hair color and everything else.
Yeah. In 2014, Kaufman's return year, on the 30th anniversary of his death, believers flooded social media and blogs with claims of anonymous tips, blurry photos and cryptic clues hinting at his imminent return. Nothing materialized, but the speculation reached its peak. I can imagine that would have happened.
I love a blurry photo, like he's Bigfoot or something.
Most of the evidence that we look at on this podcast tends to be blurry.
Yeah, that's a strange
regardless of the year it was taken in.
How interesting.
It's weird. It's such a coincidence.
That is such a coincidence. Yeah.
It's highly unlucky,
we
really.
all have smartphones that can take photographs in your pitch black darkness. And we can't get a decent photo of Andy Kaufman or Bigfoot.
Maybe Andy Kaufman is Bigfoot.
Wow.
It's a costume. He loves a costume. I don't know.
You never know.
I can see that.
We just did one on the Jersey Devil.
What's that?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have to listen to the podcast.
I was going to listen to
the episode.
But the last known sighting of the Jersey Devil was 2015. I thought, the last one that's sort of widely documented. Yeah. And it's on an iPhone, right? Which, in 2015, iPhones were pretty good, right? And it's still ridiculously blurry. And it's like, what?
Come on.
It's in the middle of a street in broad daylight. It's like there's no reason why it shouldn't be quality footage.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Conspiracy folks, we gotta, step up the game. Step up the video.
Step up your game. Yeah.
Step up your game.
Arts Council counting.
Yeah.
Arts Council funding.
Yes.
I preferred the first one.
Okay, I'll keep both in. Loved it. While none of the alleged sightings or accounts have been substantiated with credible or photographic or documentary evidence, they continue to fuel the mythos surrounding Kaufman's supposed resurrection. Inconsistencies in the death narrative. Proponents also point to minor inconsistencies in the public narrative of Kaufman's death. He was a long time a non-smoker, but he died of a rare form of lung cancer at 35. Some view the diagnosis as suspicious, although it's medically possible.
Yeah.
Wow. It is medically possible.
It is. And they do talk about this in the film, actually. And that's one of the first thing, I think, when he's sitting, I don't know where this event actually happened, but he's sitting around at a table with Bob Zuma, George Shapiro, who's played by Danny DeVito, and his Lynn Margulies.
Yeah.
And the first thing he says is, you can't die from lung. You're not a smoker. You've never been a smoker. So none of them are buying it.
Yeah.
But you can passive smoking's a thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Back in the 80s, you'd be filled with rooms of smoking.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And if he was, exactly. If he was in clubs and stuff all the time.
Absolutely. And the thing, you're a youngster and you're a youngster, but being on the,
we are very young.
Being on the bus and it would be smoke. I remember going to school in my blazer, because we wore school uniform, would just be stinking of cigarettes. And that's why they could never catch any of the kids smoking, because everyone smelled the cigarettes. So it didn't it didn't matter. And but I always remember that. That's
dreadful. But you think, I guess if he wasn't a smoker, again, it's like, that's just such an elaborate plan. It's too elaborate. It's so elaborate.
To pick something such a niche, not a niche form of cancer, but a form of cancer you're least likely to have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
it just seems that would have to be so premeditated.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the internet. How would you do the research? It's like...
Doubts have been raised about the viewing and funeral. While some close friends confirmed his death, others claimed they were never invited to a viewing or memorial. The original coroner's report has never been publicly released, which some theorists interpret as a sign of obfuscation. Have I said that right?
Obfuscation.
Obfuscation.
But
Go on.
So even if there would have had to be like a death certificate, and the state would have recognized him as being.
There is a death certificate published on his website. They actually, I think this was done about 10, 15 years ago, but and I'm assuming this must be the family published a death certificate on his website, which seems a bit weird to do it so long after the event. Yeah. But you think, again, is that a double bluff?
That like Obama's birth certificate.
I'm
Sorry, I had to. I had to.
Oh my God. But I think one thing that strikes me, and I hope this isn't too like sad, but I'm going for the people who do kind of, who were in his life, but are like, he's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
For them to be able to grieve and leave that behind.
Yeah,
This must be extremely painful.
Yeah, I don't know, because I guess
It doesn't sound like they're any of them.
No.
All of them are just like, hey, he's alive.
Yeah.
So
And again, it's like, I don't think it's that they believe he is alive. I think it's just that they're either in on it.
yeah.
The fact they must be in on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you continue it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's it's kind of a beautiful thing, sort of.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, like, to keep his memory. Like, they have kept his memory alive. We're talking about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, they say to keep someone's memory alive.
Yeah.
Gotta keep him, keep him right here.
What's that? You've got 2 deaths: the day that you die, and the last day anyone ever mentions you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it
2 deaths.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's from Encanto. Is that right? I can't remember. I mean, I'm sure it's from a lot of things, but I was like,
I love you into a Disney reference. Yeah.
Yeah, had
Nice.
to.
Yeah.
Had to.
Counter arguments. So, despite these claims, substantial evidence supports the conclusion that Kaufman did pass away in 1984. Medical documentation. Kaufman's death was officially recorded with the death certificate confirming his passing from lung cancer. His funeral was attended by friends and family, including his Taxi co-star Carol Kane, who reportedly touched his body to confirm it was real. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird.
But I think it is a weird thing to do, but I also think if you were in his life and you had that opportunity, I can sort of see why you would.
Well, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And like people's relationship with death, and I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I can't say how I'd react. But
Yeah.
maybe I'd touch.
Give him a little prod in the cheek.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe. Especially if it was him and he's funny.
Yeah, I love the idea of Carol Kane being the doubting Thomas of this narrative. I think that's beautiful.
I mean, that's so funny.
She's great.
She's so great. Yeah.
But like in dealing with death, you know, I'm Irish, so we sit with the dead. You know, like you have a wake, you have this sitting, you know, before the funeral.
God, Irish funerals are so long.
Yeah, but this tea is great, and
Tea is good, and the cake is outstanding.
like it's a whole thing. Like I'm always kind of shocked when. I have a friend who's English, whose mother died, and I loved her very much. But it was very, very quick. Everything happened very, very quickly. And I was going, that with 3 weeks of just sitting with the body would be much preferred, you know.
Yeah, it's nice to have some time to grieve and
Talk.
sit with what happened.
One of
Yeah.
the best conversations I ever had with my grandmother was while she was sitting in state.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I love the idea of sitting in state. Oh man, everybody should be able to sit in
absolutely.
state.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We could all do, like when the Queen died, we can all do a walk by. If you're
Yeah,
Unless
Unless we're Philip Schofield.
Well, I was
no,
gonna say
they
no.
jump the queue, but
No one's gonna cut in that line.
no. And we will
Okay.
be watching out for Willoughby and
watching
Schofield like
out.
fucking hawks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I think
those children.
Yeah,
they're not getting any cues
get
anymore.
to the back, you pricks. Lack of credible.
Still really
sightings.
angry about that.
I am really angry about
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
it's okay.
And I don't even like the Queen, but I am really angry about that. Lack of credible sightings in the decades. In the decades since his death, no verifiable evidence has emerged to suggest Kaufman is alive. The absence of credible sightings or communications casts doubt on the theory. Critics argue that individuals like Zuma may have financial or personal incentives to keep the theory alive, as it maintains public interest in Kaufman's legacy and their associated works. Well, basically what we're saying.
Yeah, that would be my thought, which is not terrifically nice, but also I think it's a funny thing with the entertainment industry. There will always be people who are star adjacent, who have made a living off said star and need to keep it going. So it's not like he's doing something that other people are not.
No,
I suppose.
But do we
that
think that
makes sense.
Kaufman would probably have kind of liked it? Like,
Yeah.
probably would have loved
I think
the
he'd
fact that
love this.
Yeah,
I think he'd absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Which, you kind of go, yeah, funny. He'd love that Tony Clifton was still here messing people's things up. He'd love that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because there's a moment near the end of the film. Do you remember the bit where he goes to the Philippines, and he goes to see, I think, like a healer. He believes it's like a last chance saloon thing, where they sort of like pull out like
The tumor
from your stomach, and he sees how they're doing it. He sees how they're tricking people.
Fuck, that's a fucking stomach blow, isn't it?
It's incredible. And there's a moment where he's lying on the bed and he's caught. He's sort of managed to see out the corner of his eye how they're doing it, and he just looks up and he laughs and he's like, "Yeah, they're pranksters." And there's this beautiful sort of moment of like recognition there. Yeah, we all do this, and it's great. So I think he'd probably glove this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also, I guess I go back to the thing where I'm like, it's not really hurting anybody, especially if the family and everybody are all
They're in on it.
part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
If you kept ramming it down, if it was just Bob Zuma and like a bunch of people doing this, but the fact that the brother went up on
Oh,
stage,
yeah.
I mean,
He's still here. Yeah.
the theory that Andy Kaufman faked his death is more than a quirky pop culture myth. It reflects deeper cultural phenomenon rooted in society's fascination with celebrity, authenticity, and the boundaries of reality. Regardless of whether one believes the story, its persistence underscores the profound impact Kaufman had on performance, art, and entertainment. His legacy continues to ripple through comedy, philosophy, and even conspiracy culture, cementing his status as a provocateur who fundamentally reshaped the role of the artist.
I love it.
It was performance art, wasn't it? It wasn't really. I mean, it wasn't stand-up comedy. It wasn't always comedy. It was.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was confronting. But I'd rather have him than Mariana Abramovich.
But you think with people who do things outside the box, I mean, the way Steve Martin started, and a lot of people really didn't get what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
And Andy Kaufman was doing things that people are like, that you either love it or you hate it. And there's something really great about that.
Wonderful about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he found his audience.
But I think most geniuses do that, right? There's always going to be people who've got to break the mold. You've got to, and because if you've never seen anything like it before, there's people who are going to reject it because it's just not what they know. But as soon as you're in there, you're in the club, you're like, oh yeah.
And there's something about that experiential element of his comedy where, you know, you want to be in the room live with him. And the fact that he could do that on TV and make you feel that way when you're watching it as well, that's a gift. Like,
Absolutely.
that's incredible.
I mean, I was going to just, one of the times I was going to back when he read the Great Gatsby aloud for an entire set. And they do that in the film quite early on in the film, and there's like 5 people waiting in this massive theater at the end. You're like, that's such a beautiful thing. It's incredible.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wrestling matches with women, there was confusion and admiration for that, because I guess there were some people, well, a lot of people who just thought it was literal, and others who didn't, who loved it. You are going to be one of two sides. Or,
It's going to be either or.
Yeah. His work influenced a generation of comedians and artists who sought to use irony, meta-humor, and performance-based satire, including Sacha Baron Cohen, like you said, and Tim Heidecker, Nathan Fielder, and
Heidecker?
Eric Andre. Yeah, you know him.
I mean, I know the name. I'm on a podcast, so I'm gonna pretend I know everything.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Sometimes we just edit people clever. That's the beautiful thing about this not going out live.
They edited me clever. Love it.
Sacha Baron Cohen, I could really see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That disruptive
Yeah,
stuff. I mean,
very.
all the stuff with Giuliani. You're just like, oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, my favorite Sacha Baron Cohen thing is Bruno, and I know people really hate Bruno, but I remember my jaw just being on the floor the whole time.
But I think you're supposed to partly hate Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think what we're talking about is that divisive thing. There will be those artists that are just like, you either love or you hate, and there's nothing in between. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Team America by South Park, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But I surprised myself with that reaction, because at the time, I think before that, I would have been like, what? America, fuck yeah.
I love Team America. And I've got a friend who it's her least favorite movie, like ever. And we've had big arguments about it. Going, do you not get the Irish? No, it's just a horrible film, David. It's terrible. Going, it's awesome. It's puppets.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think there's a whole generation of people who cannot see Matt Damon on screen without thinking,
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Just instinctive
It's
now.
true. I think the reason that they ended up doing that is because the Matt Damon puppet was a little messed up.
Yeah.
So they couldn't use
with
it properly, so they just went with it. I think. Don't quote me on
No,
it.
I think you're right, and I I hope Matt Damon's cool with it. I imagine
I'm
he's
sure. I don't know how
probably
he
is.
would.
Well, he's also got a song by Sarah Silverman called "I'm Fucking Matt Damon." So
Ah,
I think
yeah.
he's into
He's
jokes
probably
about it.
fine.
Also, Matt Damon's great. And how much money have we spent to save his life?
Yes.
It's like there's like 5 movies where it's all about the full budget saving him. you know.
Yes. And he grew plants with his own poo, and that is an impressive feat.
Well, who of us haven't done
Yeah.
that?
What?
In The Martian.
Yeah.
What?
Have you not seen The Martian?
Martian,
Oh, I've
Martian's
seen it. I don't
great.
remember that part. I must have blocked that part out.
I think you did. There's a lot you've repressed.
Yeah. I'm nice. I forgot that part.
Don't rewatch that.
I won't.
Okay.
No.
So while the evidence overwhelmingly supports the conclusion that Andy Kaufman died in 1984, the theory that he faked his death endures, fueled by his legacy of blurring reality and performance. Whether or not Kaufman is alive, the very existence of this theory serves as a testament to his impact on comedy and performance art. In challenging audiences to question the nature of truth, Kaufman ensured that his influence would persist long after his departure, real or staged. So, Liz, did Andy Kaufman fake his own death?
Oh, God. Yes.
David, did Andy Kaufman?
Yes, he did. He did. Of course, he did.
Yes.
Andy Kaufman's still out there.
I agree. I think we all, I think we just all want this to be true.
I
Don't
want
we?
it to be true.
We want this to be the
He's
ultimate
playing the
prank.
long game. He's playing
Yeah.
the long game.
Yeah.
30 years between too soon.
Yeah.
And Andy, even if you never come back, we respect the dedication to the bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Commit to the bit.
Commit
You
to
were
the
the ultimate
bit.
commitment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah.
And Tony Clifton, anytime you want to
Anytime you want to come on.
The pod. Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
Mess
Destroy
stuff
the-
up, but just don't destroy the equipment. You can destroy anything else.
Yeah, George will cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't want George
You don't want
crying.
George to cry.
And George already has
crying right now.
emotion, so yeah.
Yeah, he's crying right now at the idea of
Yeah, he is, yeah.
yeah.
He's weeping.
The idea of it.
Liz, would you like to look into the camera and tell people where they could find you, follow you, that kind of stuff?
Yes, please. I am. That was weird. Yeah, that's fine. Self-promotion is my forte.
Remember, we can edit.
Oh my God, thank God. Where can you find me? My website is lizguterbock.com, and it's got all my show dates on it. And I'll be up at the Edinburgh Fringe for all of August, and I'll have lots of other like UK dates outside that. So just check out my website; they'll all be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, Liz has great hair.
Great hair.
Great hair.
So slick.
One turtle quote was hair shiny like a horse's mane.
Hey.
Just saying, they weren't there to review the comedy.
were
They
not
were there
there.
to
They
review the
came for the
hair.
hair.
That's it.
And they nailed it.
And they nailed it. Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like an Andy Kaufman joke to end the podcast?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is Andy Kaufman alive? Depends if you're in on the joke.
Oh, we love it.
That's it of the podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. If you like the podcast and fancy extra episodes and early access every week, why not join our Patreon? Just £5 a month and you'll be helping support the pod. Remember, we love you. Bye.